want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. That is a fight I will never give up.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Williams.
And I'm Lindsay Reiser. Welcome to our continuing America Decides special coverage from Studio 57 here in New York City. Former President Donald Trump will soon be able to drop the former from his title. He has passed the 270 Electoral College votes needed to secure the White House and become the 47th president of the United States. He will now become the first president since Grover Cleveland to be elected to non-consecutive terms. Trump will also become the oldest president ever sworn into office when he takes the oath on January 20th, 2025.
The race was not as close as many predicted. Trump not only topped Vice President Kamala Harris in key battleground states, he also unexpectedly won the popular vote.
Trump will also have help on Capitol Hill, with Republicans flipping control of the Senate. The House is still up for grabs, but CBS News characterizes control of the chamber as lean Republican.
Let's start with CBS News campaign reporters Olivia Rinaldi and Aaron Navarro. And Olivia, we'll start with you. What has made Trump's campaign so effective this time around, in your opinion and in your reporting?
Yeah, good to be with you, Doug and Lindsay. What really made this campaign so effective and brought them across the finish line is their signature ground game strategy. It was developed by James Blair, who's the political director of the campaign. He's just 35 years old, and they tested this strategy in Iowa. And essentially what it did was deputize their super fans, those Trump loyalists. And what it did was told them, look, you're in your community, go out and find 10 people and make a plan to go vote. But we're also going to incentivize this. If you get 10 people to go vote, you're going to get a reward, like a signed hat, a T-shirt, expedited entry into a rally. So it incentivized his base really to mobilize, go out, find these people, and bring them to the polls. And that's what you see attributed to a lot of that large swelling of support in rural areas, especially early voting that we saw there. But also Trump's messaging to Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Latino men in particular, saying that, look, this administration has left you behind. There's something for you at this table as well, whether that be lower taxes, stronger immigration, economic incentives. It was through all of that that the Trump campaign was really able to speak to these people, chip away at some of those voters in the Democratic base, and really churn out the support that delivered him the victory last night.
Aaron, Trump improved his margins compared to 2020 in battlegrounds and blue states alike. What kind of soul searching are Democrats doing today?
Harris struggled to recreate the winning coalition that President Biden had in 2020, in part because there were less people, less Democrats that turned out. And those that did not swing towards Harris. You saw young men, a group of voters that Trump really had access to and really pitched himself to, that swung his way, that cut into the youth vote for Harris, and Latino working class male voters. And that is a bigger, it spells a bigger problem with the Democratic Party, the campaign, and how they read the electorate when it comes to the economy. Harris was unable to distance herself from President Biden, who had received poor marks on the economy and his handling of it in the past 4 years. And that led to a lot of working class voters deciding to vote red instead.
Olivia, in terms of what's next for the Trump transition, what do you expect from that period of time and sort of the vibe of the shift in Washington?
Well, we already know that those conversations as far as transition are underway. The campaign tells me they're going to make quick work of this, starting today even, having those conversations about who would be involved, what this administration would look like, you know, the people on the campaign who worked with the former president, if they even want to be in Washington, and what that would mean. So a lot of work being done here in West Palm Beach, where we're told a lot of the transition will be happening. And on his transition team, not only is it his two sons and his running mate, J.D. Vance, but also Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He will be part of the transition team, along with former Democratic Representative Tulsi Gabbard. So they'll be going through personnel and policy leading up to the next Trump administration. We heard from RFK in recent weeks that fluoride is something that's on the top of his list as far as a policy agenda, removing that from the water. So conversations already about what this second Trump administration could look like, and policies that are underway being discussed right now.
Aaron, we know that Harris called Trump today to concede. What can you tell us of some top lines from that call and her speech that she gave in front of students and staff at Howard today?
Vice President Harris called former President Trump today to congratulate him on the win, but also emphasize that she's participating in a quote peaceful transfer of power. It's a subtle dig that she included in her concession speech, saying when you lose an election, you concede. All of that subtext being Trump after 2020. Now, the other notable bit is President Biden, who has already invited Trump to begin the transition process.
Olivia Rinaldi and Aaron Navarro, thank you.